Welcome to Cowboy Custom. Last episode, we stripped down the bikes. Start over. Welcome to Cowboy Custom. Last episode, we stripped down the bikes, fit the motors, built custom motor mounts, and reinstalled the motor to make sure to change the line. This episode, we're going to install batteries, controllers, and throttle controls. Thanks for following along. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get to work. Alright, so we're going to build some custom battery trays out of this angle iron here. And we need to cut out the steel that is in our way for fitting these batteries, because this battery will not fit in here like it is. So we'll cut out these mounts, get them out of our way. We'll build our new battery tray, and we'll see how everything fits once we do that. This one here, we have plenty of space for our battery in here. So I'm gonna cut this tray out. We'll see how we fit the new battery tray. I don't know, I wanna see how it fits with the plastics and make sure everything, we can kind of keep it look like factory. I don't want nobody to know I like sleepers, you know, kind of keep it hidden. Don't let them know we're going that fast until we fly by.
Winning.
Not bad for a guy with a grinder. Pretty dang close. Pretty darn close. We'll have to tack everything in place, but that should be about there. It's pretty close with a grinder, it's not too bad. Okay. See how the battery fits. Like a glove. That's gonna be just right. Just gonna build one more. Very nice. So we'll get everything squared up and clamp down, and then we can get them welded. So.
You know what they say, another man's trash is what?
Another man's treasure. That's right. Their trash, my treasure. And that treasure allows me to create all kinds of cool things. Make sure everything's still square. 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 Square and square. Alright, so now we'll reclamp it, weld the inside, weld the outside, and we're good to go. Big old cat ones left to grind down. pretty, but we can make them look better. Nothing a grinder can't fix. The welds came out a lot nicer. You can live with that.
How's it looking?
It's looking good. Coming along. Grind away the welds because I'm so self-conscious about my welds, and I think they could look a lot better than what they do. And I like the way it looks when it's clean, so I'm just going to grind them clean. Alright, so we got our battery trays made, so now we're going to see if the battery fits with the tray, how well it fits. So it actually fits in here quite snug, which is good because we won't really need straps. I mean, I'm still going to strap it, but it's not going to be as necessary. But I already see a problem. It's so snug that there's no way to get the battery out. So best option is probably just going to be to cut the side out of this so we can slide the battery in from the side, which will work out just fine. That's where the straps will come in handy. Make sure it doesn't slide side to side. Almost dead on the money too. It's really good. It's not going to take much to clean this up.
Nice.
That's better. Now we can put our battery back in here. Oh, look at that. That's much better. Now we can slide our battery in and out, change it out like these. Time to change the cowboy hat to a welding hat. Should be good. We can go underneath and weld it stronger, but I mean, it's just holding the battery. Alright, now we got the second bike up here. So we'll set our battery in our tray. We got lots of space here to work with, so we can see. So we can put this in a lot of different, or a couple different positions. We can go that way. We can't, I guess we can't. There's no really other way to fit it. But what I want to do with this one that we don't have to worry about with the other one is I want to put this cover in here. I want to see what, if anything, we have to modify on this cover so that this will fit in here. So this cover sits like that. So in order to get this to fit, it needs to go like this. So we're going to have to cut off a pretty good section of this. Battery slides right in. How about it? Look at that, nice and snug. Put a couple of wire ties on there, strap it in place, make sure it's secure and not going anywhere. happy with that. This here, I'm sure, is still a little too hot. Don't feel comfortable putting the battery in here yet, so we're gonna let this cool down for a little bit. So let's take a break and we'll come back. Now that we've got the batteries mounted and in place, we're gonna go ahead and start changing the throttle controls to the new variable speed style throttle control, and we're gonna install the computers or the controllers and get those all wired up. Frozen inside of there, because I think this was probably left outside. Sometimes you can shock the rust free. So we marked before here previously where we need to cut out for the battery. So I'll cut that out now and we will see how this fits with the new battery after we cut it out. Alright, so I got to thinking, before we go ahead and cut this out, we should mirror this on the other side, because it should be the same. We centered the battery, we centered our bracket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two pieces, I'm going to place them together as if they were pieced together on the bike. Put a couple bolts in here, hold everything secure, and then I will just take it and mirror that same cut on the opposite side. Now you can see we have those two pieces here. We can take our line here, come straight across from there to the other side. Actually, let me grab my square. Take a square here, mark here so we know we get a good straight line across there. Mark that. Do the same thing across here. Match our line across. Right there. And then we can come across here. Square this up here. Now we know exactly what we need to cut out. We have our two pieces cut out. Let's see how they fit over the top of our battery. What I'm doing here is looking down through the plastics to make sure that my bolt holes are lined up and they're threading in properly. So, in case you were wondering why I had the bike all tilted, I was looking at it kind of funny. No, we're snug. We're just hand tight. We're not cranking it down. We're going to take it back off after we're done wiring everything to make sure that, well, not to make sure of anything, but we'll strip it all down and paint it when it's all done so there's no bare metal anywhere. And it looks pretty. It looks complete, finished. So, in case you were wondering what my thoughts are here. So, alright, let's get this set aside for now. Let's turn the bike around, move some things out of the way. Rewiring the pigtail for the brake controller because it didn't match what we have here on the brake cable. So I took the one from the original and I cut it off And I cut the one off the new controller here. And I'm just tying it in now here. So we got our black to black, which is our negative here. And we'll do yellow to red, which is the positive. And I only know this because I looked it up beforehand. So don't guess on wiring, that's how you mess stuff up. Figure it out, educate, then you do the work. So we've made a little jumper wire here with a little piece of scrap wire that I had in the drawer. And so now we've turned the power on to our controller here. And if we bring this tire up off the ground, we should and just like that, we have the first one wired up. So we will disconnect everything, set this one aside, and this is ready for, well, now it's ready to put the plastic, take everything apart, strip it down, paint it, then put it all back together and give it a test rip. So, I mean, really, I could just put it all together now and give it a test drive, but let's get the other bike wired up. All right, now we have the next bike up on the bench. So let's get our controller for this one here. Let's see. This one is a lot simpler because we have our controller here. We don't have to rewire anything except for the battery connector for power supply, which our pigtail and our fuse here, which I didn't say this before, but we're running a 30 amp fuse on these. Should be sufficient for these. It's what was run on them before, so I figured no reason not to run the same. 30 amps, no more than 30 amps is needed for this motor. If it pulls more than 30 amps, then we want it to blow that fuse anyways. We have that. We have our power for the electric motor here, which we know red is blue here, black is yellow. There. Put a little tape on this just so we can test that everything works. We know everything worked on the Razor bike, so we'll make sure everything works on this bike. Should be no reason that it doesn't. Alright, those are taped up. We have throttle control plugged in, batteries plugged in. We will power this up, so let me wire these real quick. These are solder type heat shrink connectors. So what I do is I twist the wires together, then I slide the wire or the solder here in the middle over the top of that, and then when we heat it with the lighter, the solder will melt into the wire, creating that nice solid connection that we're looking for. So I just couldn't help myself. I know the battery's not fully charged, but I gotta see what this thing can do. So
The battery's dying? The battery's dying?
Huh?
The battery's dying?
Nope. Oh,
dude, you alright?
yeah, this thing got some power. Alright, that's enough of that. I get hurt.
That boy almost got a concussion. That's crazy. What we learned today?
They got power, baby! Alright, now we got both bikes wired up. We've tested them both. We know they're both working properly. So now we're going to strip them down, get them painted, put back together, and give them some test drives, give them some rips, you know, see how fast things go. Maybe we'll make a race. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.